it over?
Season.
Yes. I know, man. Oh, you're doing camera stuff. Okay.
I saw what it took to do what you guys do.
Oh, okay.
Genuinely, like, that is a
All right, okay. Fair enough.
was it Ethan last week?
Okay. I mean, cameras are an awesome thing to do, I feel like. So. Yeah.
It's not that I really enjoy doing.
No, exactly. Yeah. Well, I'm excited. That's still much better than I want to do. What else is that? That just makes my life really hard. It makes me freaking get through that point.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Well, the sun has come out to play and set the stage for a superb afternoon of Senol NPLW Victoria action, as Alamein welcome Box Hill as two of the high flyers early in season 2026. Get ready to go head-to-head in a game with significant ramifications for the upper echelons of the ladder a couple months into the campaign. Alamein, they've hit a little bit of a roadblock the last few weeks, losing 2 of their last 3 games, but they'll be hoping to get back inside the winner's circle this afternoon as they return home to Dorothy Laver West Reserve to take on the reigning and defending champions, of course, Box Hill United. Box Hill themselves have suffered a couple of defeats in their opening 8 games, but 6 wins out of 8. All in all, makes for pretty pleasant reading for the reigning champions, and they'll be looking to continue that strong start to the season here at one of the toughest venues in the division, Dorothy Laver West Reserve. Oscar Rutherford here with you to talk you through this afternoon's action, and with the pre-game taken care of, Alamein legend Emma Runnels being honoured in the build-up as her team prepare to lock horns in what is an all-top 4 clash. At the start of the day, Alamein sitting in 4th spot with 16 points from their opening 8 games. Box Hill in 3rd with 18 points. So a chance here for Alamein to leapfrog their rivals, or for Box Hill to really put down a marker with another impressive 3 points. Our central referee Jasmine St. Laurent giving the ball to Box Hill to get things underway. Erin Kate, what an unbelievable start to the season it has been for her, leading the line for this Box Hill team. And we're underway at Dorothy at Laver West Reserve. What promises to be a really watchable and high-quality affair. Alamein making a couple of changes to the starting 11 that last time out was handily beaten by South Melbourne 3-0. One of those changes in goal as Miranda Templeman starts, having had to come off the bench in that game in place of the injured Olivia Cowan. So Tempe getting her go between the sticks, with Kate Bean taking up the substitute goalkeeper position this afternoon. Meanwhile, in the outfield, there's no Zoe Houghton, so a big loss for Alamein in an attacking sense, but a more than ready-made replacement in the form of Anais Yasevsky, who we see on the ball at the moment. Her run quickly ended by Grace Norbury. Grace Norbury, who is the one inclusion for Box Hill this afternoon. There's no Maho Murakami, so that's a big loss in the middle of the park. Norbury, though, taking up that position as we see the early attempt fired away by Summer Lasky. Grace Norbury, the player who came across from Burundara in the off-season, taking up that post in the middle of the pitch. So some early possession from Box Hill. We know how much they love to play with the ball. That one sent forward and will be met by Dakota Tyson. Looks out towards Anastasopoulos. And that through ball from Emma Runnels will be a comfortable take for Keely Sagavcic, the Box Hill shot stopper, running through the rest of the Box Hill 11. As mentioned, in goal is Keely Sagavcic. Number 5 is Sarah Petkara. 6, Grace Norbury. 8, Amelia Tartaglia. 11 is Chiara Burcelli. 20 is Sydney Minarik. 15, Sophia Paliwoda. 23 is Erin Kate. 26, Pearl Teen. 32, Yuri Kawano. And 54 is Summer Trask. That ball sent from one captain to the other. Estelle Bouges doing enough to regain possession for her team. This is Nev Dustin looking to play through Anastasopoulos again. Cross along the deck. Well met by Sagavcic. For Alamein, the starting 11, as mentioned in goal, is Miranda Templeman. Number 2 is Estelle Bouges. 3, Janatsu Shidara. 4, Analia Kopoulos. 5, Jess Shilton. 6, Dakota Tyson. 7, Savannah Anastasopoulos. 8, Nev Dustin. 9, Summer Lasky. 10 is Emma Runnels. And 17 is the number of Anais Yasevsky. And with that long ball sent through, Miranda Templeman getting her first touch between the sticks for Alamein. Now Anna Leakopoulos stepping out of defence, doesn't get too far. Cut out in the middle of the park by Kawano. Now Paliwoda sending it once again towards Kawano, that time met by Shidara. And Leakopoulos getting the ball clear before Erin Kate could apply too much pressure. Kate, who is the real danger player this afternoon, already 9 goals to her name this season. It's been an unbelievable return to Box Hill. Mind you, not doing too bad either is Yuri Kawano, her strike partner, with the 6 goals to her name. As we see the offside flag raised for the first time this afternoon to curtail the Alamein attack. Assistant referees this afternoon, Whitney Crabb as well as Warwick Burner. Assisting Jasmine Saint Laurent. Paliwoda does well to pick out Petkaris on the left. Stel Bujas tracking back to get there ahead of Chiara Bercelli. Bercelli, who's slotted in very nicely to this Box Hill team, the recruit from New Zealand. Here is Bercelli again, using Petkaris. Goes with the cross in to the box. Did find a friendly head, but in the end, Alamein doing enough to get the ball clear. Now Norbury goes along the deck, but well read by Bujas, who copped a little bit of the leftover boot, and so hobbling a little bit, Estelle Bujas, but will take more than that to keep her down. This is Samalaski looking to break through. Paliwoda's clearing ball only as far as Yosefsky. Now Emma Runnels. Well, opponents just falling around her as she stands tall in the middle of the park. Now Dustin Anastasopoulos has gone a little bit early. We have already had the one game played this afternoon in NPLW Victoria, the early kickoff. Seeing Heidelberg get the better of Avondale at Avenger Park, so a big result for the Burgers as they continue their ascent. And just a handful of points outside those finals positions now, where you see Box Hill and Alamein currently. This one of a couple of concurrent kickoffs for the 3 p.m. time slot this afternoon. Chance for Box Hill, even with a draw, to at least temporarily return to the top of the tree. For Alamein, they'd need a win just to match Burundara on points, and the 5-goal difference you'd imagine would be too great to overcome, so not as clear-cut a route to the top of the table for Alamein, but nonetheless being level with Burundara at this early stage would certainly be a just reward for their strong start to the campaign. Box Hill were on the wrong end of the scoreline against Burundara just before the Easter break, so 3 weekends ago now. They did rebound from that defeat with aplomb last time out as they beat Spring Hills 4-0. That clearing ball met by Yosefsky. The winger charging forward. This is Bercelli. Just clipped on the way through, so Box Hill have themselves a free kick. short by Paliwoda in combination with Kawano, but the long ball is over the head of Chiara Bercelli. Dustin sending it skyward, gets it back, does the Alamein midfielder. Tyson wide to Bugis. Now this is Chinatsu Shidara. Leakopoulos is under the pump a little bit, so is Chinatsu Shidara. We're seeing the Box Hill press in full flight. Alamein showing plenty of composure to work their way out of it though. Now Jess Shilton. A really valuable inclusion in the defensive line of Alamein, having missed the early part of the campaign. That throw setting Anastasopoulos a task. It's well marshalled by Minarik. Throw in for Alamein. Runnels is closest to it. Cleared away initially by Peltine. Shilton wrestling control of the ball. Once again, Anastasopoulos is the outlet. This time the cross had the sting taken out of it by the initial block, and that allows the goalkeeper to come and claim fairly comfortably Kili Sagavcic. Goalkeeper brought in from Western Sydney Wanderers in the off-season. Goes the direct approach, but that one always favouring the Alamein shot stopper, Miranda Templeman. Here is Tartaglia stepping out of defence. Uses Trask. Goes with the early cross. And Estelle Bugis cushioning it back to a goalkeeper. Flick on header from Runnels is good. Sets away Anastasopoulos down the left. Does get the cross away. Only as far as Paliwoda though. And in the end, the ball bouncing favourably for the Box Hill shot stopper. Touch there from Kate. Falls now for Kawano, who pulled the trigger from a long way out. And Leakopoulos, body in the right position. Headed up towards Lasky. Beaten to it by Minarik, and now Tartaglia uses her central defender supporting. Back to Paliwoda, of course one of the integral components of that championship winning team for Box Hill last season, Sophia Paliwoda. Looks for the crossfield ball towards Bercelli. Should be a really good battle between Chiara Bercelli and Estelle Bugis down that left flank. Bugis got the better of that duel. Dustin hoping to set away Lasky, but the forward was facing her midfielder, so never really favoured with the ball in behind. Paliwoda looking for Bercelli. Gets in behind. Chiara Bercelli. Oh, it's a wonderful goal. A brilliant finish from range. Got the wrong side of Anna Leakopoulos and lobbing Miranda Templeman expertly, and Box Hill lead at Alamein. Well, just like that, that's how quickly they can hurt you. Ball through from Sophia Paliwoda. And Chiara Bercelli, we were talking about how positive an impact she's made early on in her NPL Victoria career. And that right there, a real highlight as Box Hill grab themselves an early advantage. Forward they go again. Box Hill, Aaron Keat with the touch. This time Jess Shilton there to recover possession. Now Yosefsky to turn out of trouble. Charging out of defence there was Petkaris, but the ball through, unable to find Aaron Keat. Kate, rather. That goal for Chiara Bercelli, her 5th in a Box Hill shirt already. So providing some real competition to both Yuri Kawano and Aaron Kate for the Box Hill top scorer prize. They really have been scoring for fun, Pythagoras, early in the season. At their 26th goal of the campaign, as we see a moment of potential miscommunication before Chinatsu Shidara shepherded the ball calmly over the defensive line. Coming into today, Box Hill, 25 goals from their 8 games, so going at an average of just over 3 per game. That number somewhat inflated by the 8-0 shellacking they handed out to Bentley Greens. But in any case, they've certainly made free-flowing, attractive football their identity under Kogu Sabaratnam. And when you've got players who can finish like we just saw from Chiara Bercelli, well, you'll be really hard to stop, as we've seen early in this campaign. Here is Petkaris. Now Bercelli receiving it from Norbury. Shilton has Trask for company, turned away from the danger. Clever exchange between Yosefsky and Dustin, but too far in front of the winger was the return ball. Here's Tartaglia, looking to send Trask away. Covering was Shilton, though, and ever the experienced defender, always knew what she was doing there. Up against a much younger opponent in Summer Trask. Recently turned 18, the new signing from Boleyn. See already the great enthusiasm she brings to that right flank for Box Hill. Clever ball over the top in the direction of Dustin. Getting there first and setting it back, though, was Minarik. Wonderful crossfield ball towards Chiara Bocelli, who just misread the trajectory and ended up getting caught right underneath the ball as it goes harmlessly for an Alamein throw. For Alamein, the defensive troubles continuing. The goal from Bocelli now the 7th they've conceded in their 8 games, which is a very impressive tally when you consider as well that they started the weekend with the equal fewest goals conceded. The trouble, of course, is well, they only conceded 1 in their first 5 games. That means that in the last 4 now, they've upped that tally to 6 goals conceded, with plenty still left in this one. Never going to be sustainable, conceding as infrequently as Alamein were initially. As that ball in the path of Yasevsky is beaten to it by the goalkeeper. But for Alamein, just giving themselves more work to do on a regular basis at the moment when teams are able to pierce what is otherwise a really solid defensive line. That ball towards Trask. Resumes her battle with Jess Shilton. So as we tick past 20 minutes played here at Dorothy Laver West Reserve. It's a really important interception here potentially for Emma Runnels. Emma Runnels goes to lob the goalkeeper and just didn't have the depth she needed. A little bit too much height, which afforded Sagavcic the time to retreat and make the claim. Very nearly a similar goal to the one scored by Chiara Bocelli at the other end. Emma Runnels, though, not quite with the deft touch necessary. She has so many attributes, Emma Runnels, and a capacity to finish is certainly one of them. The more subtle, deft part of the game, though, perhaps less so in her arsenal than other features in her play style. In any case, Box Hill, they've certainly been controlling the majority of the ball. Chance here for Alamein once again, winning back the ball in the opposition half. Runnels this time tried the strike first time. Copped a bit of contact on the way down and just taking a moment to regroup before getting back to her feet. Bocelli. Clever reverse pass. Almost working out for Erin Kate with the ball from Teen, but instead Leokopoulos stepping out of defence. Almost mistiming it there was Minarik, but did just enough to recover. Norbury lofts it skyward. A little bit awkward for Chinatsu Shidara, but did enough to get it back to Templeman. Anastasiopoulos' touch did her no favours. Now Norbury has Trask on the right. Shilton a long way advanced. There's space for the cross. Burgess getting the ball clear. Well, now Shilton, having made the run earlier, finds herself in an appropriately advanced position. Ball more central, is eventually cut out rather by the Box Hill back line. Intercepted was maybe the word I was looking for. Dangerous giveaway from Teen. Long range attempt from Dustin. Wasn't too far away, but wide of the frame of the goal in the end. And after a little bit of conflict as to whether it was a goal kick or a corner. The decision is a Box Hill goal kick. Saw there Kili Sagavcic taking no chances with the playing out from the back with the Alamein line so far advanced, and Box Hill given a little bit of a bailout with the shove into the back of Kawano. Just making sure that players restarted from the correct position. Minarik into the path of Trask. Fell favourably for the young winger. Clever touch from Kawano. Could fall for Norbury. The strike cut out by Shadara. Now can Alamein counter. Bugis overhitting the ball, hoping to release Yosefsky. A shout of frustration from the Alamein captain as that one missed its target. Bercelli. Now Minarik with Lasky close by, eventually retreating to a goalkeeper. Kate and Shidara are fairly physical coming together, and it was the defender who got the better of that little duel. As much as things have largely gone the way of Box Hill in this opening half thus far, I haven't seen a huge deal of Erin Kate. Well marshalled by the Alamein central defensive pairing of Shidara and Leokopoulos. Kawano has Bercelli in space, who cuts into the centre of the park. This time out to Trask. And the retreat ball back to Tartaglia. Tartaglia's pass in between a couple of teammates, but works out in the end. Teen and Kawano with the 1-2. Now Bercelli. Erin Kate. Once again, losing out to Chinatsu Shidara. Has been a fairly miserable couple of weeks in terms of weather in Melbourne, but really timed it perfectly with this afternoon's game. The sun out and shining and making for really perfect conditions for football. Even earlier today, fairly overcast in various places, so been dished up a real treat here, and it's helping with the football as well. A real tight and difficult battle for both teams, you sense. Box Hill trying to get their football flowing, but Alamein are not making it easy for them. Here's Anastasopoulos, charging forward, goes with the left. Whilst the shot left a little bit to be desired, and will need a new ball to get play back underway. Seeing yet again, though, that Alamein very capable of winning back the ball high up the pitch and creating chances from that. It's where they're looking their most dangerous. Of course, if Box Hill can find a way through, we've already seen the damage that the visitors can do. Leokopoulos out to Anastasopoulos. Met by a combination of Norbury and Tartaglia. Eventually it's today's inclusion, Grace Norbury, who fights back to win possession. Danger for Grace Norbury, just stepping on the ball at an inopportune moment and giving away a free kick in the process. So a really good look here for Alamein. An unfortunate moment for Grace Norbury. And a chance here for Nev Dustin. What will be a really appealing range from goal. Chance to get some movement on the ball if she strikes it right. Dustin coming in, Nev Dustin. Ooh, just wide of that post. Certainly had Sagavcic scrambling. In the end, though, the Box Hill goalkeeper will be grateful to see it rolling wide of a post. Some really nice close control there from Emilia Tartaglia. Picking out Bercelli. Trask just unable to keep the ball in play. So Alamein rather, they've fought back well, having conceded that opening goal. Last 10 or so minutes, you'd say, have been the host's best so far. Still, though, looking to really cause that panic for Keely Sagavcic in the Box Hill goal. That back pass inviting for Erin Kate. Templeman getting the ball clear in the nick of time, and that was really well managed by Jess Shilton. Summer Trask lunging in with the challenge and didn't get the timing right there, so looking as if Summer Trask will be the first name into our referee's notebook. Trask just beaten there by the guile of Jess Shilton, so we'll now have to watch herself for the remainder of this game as we are into the final 15 minutes now of the first half. A game that's still very much hanging in the balance. Norbury looking to return it to Bercelli. Dustin towards Lasky. Lasky, much like Erin Kate, struggled to have a huge influence on this game. Both number 9s. Tartaglia across to Paliwoda. Happy to just rotate a bit of possession. That time using Pearl-Teen. Erin Keat here could sneak in. Still Erin Keat picking up the ball in a really dangerous spot. Gets the shot away. That one, a fairly comfortable save for Miranda Templeman, but Keat just reminding everyone what she's capable of doing. Templeman grateful that Erin Kate shot was fairly central, all things considered. Here's Dustin again, as well as Emma Runnels. Shidara. Upfield towards Lasky, but Paliwoda will take control. Here's Kate. Spread by Norbury. Now Bercelli. Looking to stand up Estelle Bugis. Gets around the fullback. Into the path of Trask, but beaten to it by Shilton. Dustin again. Well won by Teen. Never any doubt about how Jess Shilton was going to manage that, just using her size advantage expertly once again to shield the ball over the line. Now Runnels for Alamein, asking a lot of Lasky. Direct competition with Paliwoda, and the Box Hill captain using all of her quality there, playing it off her opponent to win her team the throw. This game, as mentioned, one of 3 simultaneous kickoffs this Saturday afternoon, with one more to come in just over 20 or so minutes' time, with Boleyn against South Melbourne. Here's Chiara Bercelli for Box Hill. That touch backwards maybe a little bit heavier than she initially intended, but still with possession are the visitors. Paliwoda finds Petkaris. Inside, it's a decent ball as well for Kawano, just over the head of her teammate. Now it's Yosefsky battling Trask. And Shilton to carry the ball out of defence. Putting on the afterburners is the Alamein fullback. Still making the run. Has Lasky in support. Summer Lasky, Anastasopoulos inside, also Dustin. That was a really important intervention from Sophia Paliwoda. Snuffing out the danger just as it was looking its most serious. Sevsky having to remain back to do the defensive cover. Three concurrent kickoffs that we have, really covering the span of Melbourne. This one here in the eastern suburbs of Ashburton. Keilor Park hosting Preston Lions, meanwhile out west, whilst in the southeast Melbourne City and Bentley Greens doing battle before the main event really with Boleyn Lions and South Melbourne at the Veneto Club. Not too far from here as the game is just being paused for a moment. Looks to be Jess Shilton seemingly not quite at 100% at the minute. So a little bit of concern amongst the Alamein ranks. Shilton hunched over and rehydrating, so we certainly hope that it's nothing that will force the Alamein fullback from the game. Box Hill taking their chance to go and join a little bit of a huddle and get rehydrated as well. Looking as if Jess Shilton will be good to continue. So play back underway with the player in question, Jess Shilton. Be a big loss for Alamein if she were forced out of the game, so good to see her continuing. Dustin sees the space on the right for Anastasopoulos. Pinpoint delivery as well. Savannah Anastasopoulos. Really well met by Petkaris though. Seen some really solid individual acts of defending from Box Hill so far this afternoon. Just in those moments when Alamein have quickly gotten the ball forward, Box Hill have been in the right positions to cover. This ball into the box met the head of Lasky. Crowded as she was by Box Hill opponents, unable to direct it towards goal. As we tick towards the final 5 minutes of the first half. Just a little bit of a drop in the intensity of this game. Box Hill happy to slow it down a little bit before resuming their attacking move. Here is Bercelli. Looking to show a pace to get past Bugis. Does so effectively. Cross inside to Erin Kate. Important clearance from Leakopoulos. This one only as far as Norbury. He sent it towards goal, but off target in the end. So Chiara Bercelli getting the better of Estelle Bugis in that rendition of the duel. Nothing coming of it though for Box Hill. So still just the one goal separating the two teams. That wonderful Chiara Bercelli finish early on in the contest. Chinatsu Shidara now going the direct approach towards Runnels. Teen sending it out and over the byline. Sydney Minarik sending that one forward into the gloves of Miranda Templeman. Have seen a fair bit of that in this first half. Box Hill very happy to have possession and build up patiently, but also willing on occasion to just go direct and send it forward to try and catch out the defence. That's really how the goal came as well. The Paliwoda ball and Bercelli capitalising on it. That one well read by Tartaglia. Kate turning away from trouble and using Summer Trask, who gets a good result in the end, playing it off Shilton and behind for a corner. So a rare opportunity perhaps for Box Hill to get some real territory control in their own final third. Sarah Petkaris moving over to deliver the corner. Petkaris sends it in low and flat, met by Shidara. Second ball in, this time it's Runnels. Kate losing out to Anastasopoulos. And Box Hill will be able to recycle the ball. Paliwoda has Norbury out left if she wants her. Looks more centrally, but at the risk of that move. Real chance here for Alamein on the counter. Referee not seeing any foul on Nev Dustin. It was a real good look for Alamein. They had just about a 4-on-1 with Paliwoda tracking back, but the defender very smartly disrupting the attack and having not given away any foul. It's a perfect result for Box Hill. Shidara into Lasky. Turns away from Teen. Samalasky. Maybe somewhat caught in two minds whether to play in runnels or go for the shot, and in the end managed to play the ball right between those two options. Tyson sending it out towards Anastasiopoulos. Does enough to keep it in play, at least initially. In the end, the momentum, though, carrying it out behind. So as we wait to see how much first half stoppage time there will be. Box Hill have slowed this game right down the last few minutes, so just a couple of minutes still to be played. Get the sense that Kogi Sabaratnam's Chargers will very much take this scoreline, and that's the halftime whistle. A little bit of confusion as to whether the game has indeed been brought to a halt. Central referee apologising, and I think saying that she pulled the trigger a little bit early. So jumping the gun there for the halftime break. I think we will get our 2 minutes of first half stoppage time. Saw a few bemused looks from the players as they turn to face our referee, who's quickly addressed the error, so play can get back underway. Still time perhaps for Alamein. They're the ones who'd much rather this first half continue, you imagine, because they're looking much more likely to score the next goal right at the minute. Minarik sending that one forward. Works out favourably for Box Hill. Here's Shidara. Heavy first touch into the path of Petkarith. Now Bercelli. Central towards Teen. Minarik and Tartaglia. Box Hill holding on to the possession expertly here, winding down the final seconds of this first half. Now Pearl Teen, the more ambitious approach, sees Box Hill cough up possession. Anastasiopoulos asking too much of Samalasky, who's toiled hard in this first half, and not a whole lot of reward. That may just about be it for the first half. Norbury maybe hoping to launch one final attack from Box Hill. Crossfield ball, Bercelli the closest to it for Box Hill, but Miranda Templeman will very gratefully claim before sending it upfield. Still the late half ping pong continues. Headed back by Bugis to the goalkeeper. And that will be the halftime whistle as we play out the allocated 2 minutes plus a little bit extra of what's been a really engaging first 45 minutes. Box Hill take the lead into the break at Dorothy Laver West Reserve. Chiara Bercelli's finish separating the two teams Alamein, though, responded really well in the general play. Certainly looked the more likely to score the second goal of the game towards the end of that first 45. It's Box Hill, though, the visitors who have themselves an advantage as we head into the sheds for around about 15 or 20 minutes. Still plenty to play out in this one at Dorothy Laver West Reserve. At half-time, though, the scoreline reads Alamein 0, Box Hill 1.
As I'm talking, one of the bottom ones should be moving slightly. At the bottom of the screen, there should be two bars. One says CH1, one says CH2. Yep. If I'm talking, is CH2 doing this? Hello.
Welcome back to Dorothy Laver West Reserve. Second half underway in this round 9 Senol NPLW Victoria clash between Alamein and Box Hill. And it's the visitors Box Hill who have the advantage as we kick off the second 45. A wonderful finish from one of their new recruits in the off-season. Her 5th goal of the campaign already, Chiara Bercelli. Which sees the reigning champions, as things stand, jumping to the top of the NPLW Victoria ladder. Potentially, even if they were to win this, that only for a very short period of time, with Boleyn now also having kicked off their game against South Melbourne. But in any case, they'll be focused fully on their opponents today, Alamein, who, despite trailing at the half, have shown plenty of attacking potential throughout the game, particularly winning the ball back in their own attacking half, as we're seeing right here from Emma Runnels, pinching it off the toes of Grace Norbury, and then drawing a foul as well. So an early look in for Alamein. The host today, if they were to win, could at least temporarily go level on points with top of the table Burundara. They'll have plenty to do right, though, in the next 45 minutes. They are to turn this scoreline on its head. Early opportunity here, though. Ball sent in by Dustin. Skidding off the head, really, of Emma Runnels, and out for a Box Hill throw. Just some half-time score updates from around the grounds. As mentioned, Boleyn and South Melbourne just kicking off at the Veneto Club, but the two games that started at the same time as this, Keilor Park hosting Preston Lions, and it's Keilor who had the 1-0 advantage at the half-time break. Whilst between Melbourne City and Bentley Greens, a big game towards the lower end of the NPLW ladder. That one currently sitting at 1-1. So all three games remaining very tight and evenly contested as anticipated coming into this afternoon's fixtures. And ball forward met by Summer Lasky. Paliwoda sending it upfield for Box Hill. Now Dustin. Spreading it towards Anastasopoulos. A really solid first touch. Takes her away from Tartaglia. Looking for the reverse ball towards Lasky. But a critical intervention coming from Minarik. Now Bercelli for Box Hill down that left flank. Didn't get too far, but winning her team a throw-in. Really coming into today feeling like a contest of attack versus defence. At the start of the weekend, Box Hill with their 25 goals from 8 games, the second most in the league, trailing only Boleyn's 27. Whilst Alamein just the 6th conceded at kickoff. That the equal stingiest defence. Suggesting the respective strengths of these teams, although it is worth noting that Box Hill, for all the goals that they've scored, they've also conceded very few, just the 7. So now with the scoreline as it stands, both these teams have conceded the same amount of goals this campaign. A real difference coming at the other end of the park where, compared to Box Hill's 25, Alamein only have 12. And yet, despite all that, at kickoff, just the 2 points separating the teams. So it's not always about the number of goals you score, but when you score them. And Alamein have been experts at scoring at the right time. Now wouldn't be a bad one for Savannah Anastasopoulos as she looks to make some space on her right. Anastasopoulos aiming towards that far right corner. Just getting underneath the shot, though, as it floats over the crossbar. Head-to-head between these two teams. Another metric that's fairly even. 26 times they've played. Alamein winning 14 of those games and Box Hill 9. 3 draws to go with it, so a win today for Box Hill would be their 10th against today's opponents. Also split the meetings last season between these two teams. Alamein winning here at home before later in the season Box Hill winning at Wembley Park. At that point Box Hill had well and truly hit their stride as they were charging towards being champions. These two teams did also meet in the Cup earlier on last campaign. Alamein got the better of that game as well. Right now, though, as things stand, it's Box Hill in the driver's seat at Dorothy Laver West Reserve. Last time they won here, you just have to go back to the season before last, 2024, when they picked up a commanding 4-0 win against Alamein, thanks to a pair of braces from Rihanna Policina and Devin Jackson. Emma Runnels with the header. Looks central towards Lasky. Now Leakopoulos. Has Savannah Anastasopoulos. Quick exchange with Shilton. And Shilton continuing the run down the left flank. Beaten to it though by Sydney Minarik, who's now stepping out of the defensive line. Turning away from Lasky using Tartaglia. That's a clever through ball for Kawano. Kawano uses Trask. Trask had Kate in the middle. Looked instead towards the edge of the box, but Nev Dustin there to intercept. Anais Yosefsky. Looking inboard towards Runnels. Instead Norbury, then Kawano for Box Hill. Trask again. Kawano with the attempt from a long way out. And forcing a very decent save from Miranda Templeman. Palming it over the crossbar. One of those really awkward attempts. Had to get her timing just right and get the right amount of contact, Miranda Templeman, because if she scuffed the palm, then it could well have ended up in the back of the net in any case. See the shadows stretching increasingly across the half of the field where we're currently playing. Corner sent in. This one's got plenty of depth and over the head of Erin Kate. Now Norbury. Sent back by Minarik all the way to the captain Paliwoda. Bocelli looking to manufacture some space. Uses Kate, and the attempt flies well over the crossbar. Erin Kate, who, as mentioned in that first half, didn't get a huge amount of looks. Did a fairly good job at limiting her influence, did the Alamein backline. That shot maybe the attempt of someone who's been a little bit starved of opportunities. To be fair, and Kate doesn't need too many looks to make an impact. Here's Anastasopoulos looking to set some Lasky away. Supporting runs being made by Yosefsky and Runnels. Lasky holding the ball up and plays it off Minarik for a corner. So a swift counter-attacking move from the hosts, Alamein. Dustin trudging over to deliver this corner. As the height of Runnels and Leakopoulos and Shilton all crowd around Box Hill goalkeeper Keely Sagavcic. Corner delivery though makes life easy for Box Hill. Unable to stay in the field of play for very long at all, so Box Hill will take that all afternoon long. Goal kick finding its way to Kawano just near the halfway line. Now Trask hoping to release Kate, but she's being led to it by China Shidara. And with that, the first substitutions of the afternoon will be made. It's a final involvement for Summer Trask, as well as Grace Norbury. And with that, Karina Todorova will be brought on, the former Preston Lion. And I think the other player introduced is Gabby Simpson. Kogu Sabaratnam not waiting long to make use of his bench. It is indeed Simpson and Todorova brought in. Well, the good news for the two players brought on is they've got plenty of time to make an impact in this game. Here is a first touch for Todorova. Anastasopoulos for Alamein. Crunching challenge coming in from Peltine. That one just ahead of Todorova, the substitute. Now Shilton finds Lasky. Doesn't have a lot of options in the box. The ball in any case was cut out. That one well navigated by Sydney Minarik, hoping for Simpson. Simpson's run doesn't get too far, and it's end-to-end stuff at Dorothy Laver West Reserve. Here's Yosefsky. Inboard towards Lasky. Decent first touch, Summer Lasky. Crucial tackle coming in from Sydney Minarik. Lasky did a really nice job at manufacturing a little bit of space on the turn. But the little toe poke clear from the American defender, doing the damage for Box Hill. Minarik brought in from Clemson College in South Carolina. A native of Charlotte in North Carolina, though, but has slotted in seamlessly to the Box Hill backline. Now Bujas for Alamein. Looking forward, but quickly cut out by Petkaris. Now Yosefsky has some space on the right. Cross inboard over the head of Anastasopoulos, who's now led to the loose ball by Tartaglia. Simpson. Quickly space closed down by Anastasopoulos, who did really well to keep it in play and find a teammate too. Leakopoulos uses Dustin. Now Leakopoulos again has charged out of defence. And the cross met by Minarik, but it's another Alamein corner. Just correct myself, it was Dakota Tyson involved in that last little bit of build-up play, but Anna Leakopoulos making the charge out of defence and doing her part to win another set-piece opportunity. Nev Dustin will be hoping to do a little bit better with this corner attempt than she did last time. This one's a better delivery to Lasky on the edge of the area before it was thumped clear by Todorova. Kept in by Kawano. Now Shidara goes centrally for Anastasopoulos. Tartaglia using her strength to shove Anastasopoulos away. Here's Yosefsky. Lasky's in the middle. So is Dustin. First touch. And really important goalkeeping from Keely Sagavcic to put her body on the line there. And Nev Dustin, you think, will just be wishing she could have controlled the ball a little bit better with that first touch. Nonetheless, an auspicious sign for Alamein as they continue to hunt for an equalising goal. Burgess tracking back and showing all of her composure to send it towards her goalkeeper. Could pave the way for a long-range attempt from Erin Kate. The shot, though, is off target. Alamein getting a little bit clever on their way out of defence and very nearly paying the price for an error. Well, the sun's becoming a real factor, I think, particularly in this second half. Really awkward for all the players facing the way to which Box Hill are attacking. Can also make it challenge for the Box Hill defence if any of the long balls are sent forward by Alamein. Here might be one from Dustin. Yusevsky had a little bit of space, but that was well navigated by Petkaris. We'll get another crack at it here, the Box Hill fullback, before Sophia Paliwoda hoofs it clear. And referee's whistle coming there for a foul on Nev Dustin. Well, this game is right back up to the intensity that we saw for the majority of the first 45. Neither team wasting any time really getting the ball forward and into a dangerous area. Kawano in towards Todorova. Loses out to Dustin. Hoping for Anna Yusevsky. And the foul's been called for, I think, the little tug back on Dustin's shirt as she was making her way forward. The yellow card to boot. Free kick comes out into the path of Anastasopoulos. Crossing board, met by the head of Minarik. The clearance was a little bit wayward, but it works out in the end for Box Hill. Anastasopoulos winning back the ball for Alamein. Charging into the penalty area, Savannah Anastasopoulos decided to go herself this time, but just didn't have the space really to get a clean shot away. That earlier yellow card, I believe, shown to Karina Todorova. Well, there will just be a little break in play here. One of the Box Hill players down on the ground, looking to maybe be suffering from some cramp. Both sets of players taking their opportunity to get refreshed and some new instructions from the respective coaching staffs. Has been a breathless first 20 minutes of this second 45. Still Plenty of time for the outcome of this game to change in a dramatic way. And yeah, confirmation that it is Aaron Kate who was the player receiving treatment for that last stoppage in play, and that may well be the striker's final involvement. Hasn't quite been her day, as has been the case so often in season 2026, and she will now be withdrawn and replaced by Nina Bucalo. So a more than capable deputy to step in. Someone with plenty of experience in this competition. Play back underway as Anna-Leokopoulos charges forward. Pass through met by Todorova. Now Shidara under the pump. Very nearly the chance falling for Chiara Bocelli. Box Hill press continuing to make life just a little bit uncomfortable for Alamein. Simpson. Cross inside, met by Burgess, only as far as Tartaglia. Now Runnels, spreading it to Shidara. Looking forward towards Lasky, but Paliwoda got there first. Minarik yet again. She's been there just about every time Alamein have looked like scoring to snuff out the chance. Paliwoda as well has had a very good game. And that time, Sugavcic will be grateful as the ball rolls gently into her arms. And Box Hill can restart play with the build-up from the back. Looking crossfield towards Bocelli again. Estelle Burgess getting a toe in there to send it out for a throw. John Kyrgios still yet to make use of his bench. Perhaps a reflection that he feels like this game is in many ways going how he would like it to. His team, though, still struggling to find a way through the Box Hill defence. Still struggling, you'd have to say, to generate too many high-quality opportunities. Plus, of course, there's always the attacking threat at the other end. Simpson was the target of that ball. Here's Bucalo. Out towards Bocelli. Uses the overlapping run from Nina Bucalo. Cross inside is a good one. Crucial punch from Miranda Templeman. She didn't get all of it, but just enough to lift it away from Gabby Simpson. It was arriving at that far post. Now Dustin. You saw the target of Yasevsky. She's managed to find herself in space a lot more often in this second half. Anais Yasevsky. Simpson. Inboard, met by Shidara. Now Tyson retreats to Leokopoulos, who's taking no chances as she hoofs it upfield. And there from Teen. This falls into the path of Dustin, and we rinse and repeat. Yasevsky the target again, but Dustin not quite striking the ball as she would have hoped. Still Alamein attack, this time through Runnels. And that ball through is well overhit though. And as each attack comes and goes, Box Hill will be getting more and more confident that maybe they can shut out Alamein in this game. As much as their attacking play and relentless goal scoring has attracted plenty of the headlines, they've also been a more than capable defensive outfit, Box Hill. Just 7 goals conceded coming into today. 4 clean sheets from their 8 games as well. So this would be a 5th. But still Alamein press. Yosefsky. Met by Petkaris. Dustin. Well, it was a bit of a wild cross in the end. Ball, from the looks of things, did go out for a goal kick. And that will present the opportunity for further substitutions, this time from Alamein. Tom's Wedge coming into the game, alongside Priya Archdeacon. Dakota Tyson, one of the players to make way. As well as Savannah Anastasopoulos, who exited the field on this near camera side. So Archdeacon and Tom's Wedge onto the park for Alamein as they continue to hunt for this equalising goal. That long ball towards Samalaski could pan out. Oh, well, that was about as much time and space as she's had all afternoon in the box. Samalaski just totally mistimed the header and made life way too comfortable for the Box Hill shot stopper. The clearing ball scuffed somewhat, so Alamein could continue this spell of attacking pressure. Instead, though, Bercelli for Box Hill. Looking to step out of trouble. Sent forward by Todorova. Now Pearl-Teen. Losing out to Archdeacon. Yosefsky on the right. Runnels ahead, goes over her and towards Samalaski. And that touch from Simpson sees Jordan Tom's Wedge charge in and send the ball out for a throw. Bucalo. Space in the attacking half for Box Hill. Looks to use Simpson. Shilton charging her opponent down. And really just shoving past her as the ball rolls out for a goal kick. So now the majority of this half of the field covered in shade at this point in time, and it really is the other end where all the heat is in the game. Shilton sending it forward, well read by Minarik. There could be space here for Kawano. Has a couple of players making supporting runs, but Chelly's one of them. Closely marshalled by Burgess. Kawano again, slipping at an inopportune moment though. There, stepping out of defence was Tartaglia, and a straightforward decision for our central referee. Foul committed by Samalaski, and this will be a much appreciated little spell for Box Hill and their defence. as well as posing an opportunity to get the ball into the box again. Into the final 15 minutes of the 90. Sophia Paliwoda. Rehearsed routine, sets away teen. In the end, the ball just had a little bit too much fizz on it and getting away from the Box Hill midfielder. Here's Dustin for Alamein. Decided to go herself from a long way out. You could see the idea. The attempt, though, ends up spraying wide of the target. And as much good as they've done Alamein, the real question mark over their play remains that ability to create enough of those high-quality chances. Once again today, they've certainly created half chances, got some looks at goal, but not enough to really test the opposition goalkeeper. That touch from Bocelli doing Miranda Templeman a favour. Dustin to Runnels. Important touch from Paliwoda. Now Archdeacon. Keeping it clear of Todorova. Leakopoulos starting to take on the responsibility herself. And eventually the ball's headed out to Bacalo. Tartaglia's pass read by Archdeacon. Really important defensive work from Katerina Todorova. Leakopoulos' touch. I should say Karina Todorova. As Dustin sends it wide towards Yasevsky. Charging in board. Has Lasky on the left. Summer Lasky opens up a little bit of space. Tartaglia was with her every step of the way. Dustin spreading it out to the right. Burgess in an unusually advanced position. Quick exchange with her midfield partner, but in the end, Alamein will have to settle for a throw. Burgess gets it to Runnels. Now Dustin's cross, well, could have caused a little bit of chaos. In the end, Minarik doing enough to send the ball clear. Still though, Alamein, they win back the ball again. They're just building more and more pressure in this second half. Lasky steps clear of Tartaglia. Lasky along the deck. Yasevsky with the chance. It's maybe as clean a look as they've had Alamein. A fantastic opportunity, well worked by Samalaski. The finishing touch not quite there though for the hosts. A groan of frustration heard from much of the home support and the Alamein bench. Was that their chance? Will they get a better look than that to get themselves back into this game? They've still got plenty of time into the 80th minute now. Todorova showing her strength to maintain possession there. Dustin heads it forward. Thumped clear by Paliwoda. getting close to now or never territory for Alamein. Once again, Box Hill repel. They have certainly shown a capacity to grind out results this season, Box Hill. Here's a chance for Kawano, the reverse ball into the path of Bercelli, in towards Simpson. It's 2 for Box Hill. Gabby Simpson off the bench and onto the score sheet. And surely now Box Hill have done enough to claim the 3 points. No surprise, Chiara Bercelli involved again, but it's the substitute Simpson who had a fairly straightforward finish and tucked it into the bottom corner. A little bit of concern in the aftermath, I believe, for Bercelli, but she's back on her feet. A little bit of a delay to the restart, but we will be back underway in a matter of moments. The substitution paying off for Kogu Sabaratnam. And now the challenge, which was already significant for Alamein, has become momentous as they need 2 goals in the final 10 minutes of this one if they are to rescue a point. Staring down the barrel of a second consecutive game, conceding multiple goals and failing to score. Nev Dustin will have some thoughts about that, sending it into the path of Runnels. Runnels uses Yosefsky. The cross-in is a good one, headed by Emma Runnels. Oh, it's a sensational save from Keely Sagavcic. Somehow getting her toe in there to stop the ball sneaking underneath. Well, Alamein will be wondering what they have to do to score at the minute. Some desperate defending from Box Hill. Yosefsky now. Charging forward was shooed away from the goal. And Kawano tracking back can help restart another Box Hill counter-attack. Maybe a little bit less appetite to get forward with the 2-goal buffer that they now have. Here's Bacalo for Box Hill, looking centrally towards Simpson. Yosefsky's ball. Once again met. Sophia Paliwoda, that centre-half pairing from Box Hill. Indeed, the whole back line has just been superb this afternoon. It's really only in the last 10 or so minutes that Alamein have been able to create some real decent looks. But even then, they're continuing to repel attack after attack. Box Hill are able to close out this win. Would mean that since that opening day defeat to Essendon Royals, they will have gone 7 wins in their next 8 games, Box Hill. They are real threats again this season as we approach the time when we'll see some A-League players back into the comp, which of course changes the dynamic for a number of teams. Well, with the way that they play, the style that they've implemented to such great effect, and the depth of the squad able to execute the style as well, you get the impression the Box Hill will be right up there again come the end of this campaign. Is there to be a final surge from Alamein? Archdeacon ran out of space. Now Todorova winning back the ball was the Alamein substitute, Priya Archdeacon. Runnels' header easily managed though by Paliwoda. Stepping out of the defence there was Sydney Minarik. Simpson using Kawano. Well, they certainly haven't had things all their own way today, Box Hill. Erin Kate, of course, her influence was largely curtailed. Yuri Kawano we've seen involved in lots of build-up, but hasn't really threatened in the final third. Chiara Bocelli's been the real instigator in an attacking sense for Box Hill. And the player on the ball right now, Gabby Simpson, coming off the bench and benefiting from that, scoring the second goal. But it has been a gritty display from Pythagoras. And well, that's what's demanded of you when you play this Alamein team. Box Hill now taking the opportunity to make further use of their bench. It'll be the final involvement for Chiara Bocelli, a goal and an assist on what's been a splendid afternoon of football for her. Victoria Zekas, a player to be introduced, the former Box Hill junior. So with this result, of course, Boleyn still in play, but Box Hill will leapfrog Burundara into, at worst, being level on points on top of the ladder by the end of tonight. They'll move 5 clear of Alamein. And looking ahead to next week, it sets up a really tantalising potential Friday night clash. Well, it's not potential that it will be a Friday night clash. It could be two teams sitting pretty on top with 21 points, Box Hill and Boleyn at Wembley Park. That'll be a huge occasion. What a way to go into it with such an impressive showing this afternoon. For Alamein, they too face one of the tests of the weekend. They'll head up to Carey Sports Complex to take on Burundara. So, looking as if it could be a couple of top 4 meetings to bookend next weekend's action. Box Hill will be going into that on a high if they're able to see out these remaining couple of minutes. Dustin to deliver for Alamein. Goes deep into the box, met by the head of Leokopoulos there. Kawano with Petkaris. Looking to release Zekas, but the offside flag raised by the assistant. So confirmation there will be 4 more minutes to be played. 4 minutes of second half stoppage time. It'll take the miracle of all miracles for Alamein from here. Box Hill showed in that first half their ability to just soak some seconds off the clock with their control of the ball. Not really being afforded the time and space to re-implement that strategy right now, with Alamein leaving nothing in the tank as they
try desperately to win back the ball. Here's Simpson. Unable to get past Jess Shilton, who's put in an almighty shift out left fullback this afternoon. Todorova finds Petkaris, who skips around Bugis, and the shirt pull will prompt the referee's whistle. And that is an ideal result for Box Hill. More seconds off the clock. Chance for a fairly low-risk ball into the box. Well, despite the 2-0 scoreline, they've put plenty of numbers into the penalty area here, Box Hill. Chance for Pearl Teen, whose shot is deflected off target by Priya Archdeacon. Zeker's beaten to it by Yosefsky. Cross inside towards Lasky. Well, they'll certainly feel like they deserve at least a goal, Alamein. That one, Lasky unable to get ahead on it. So Nev Dustin to deliver this one. That one really scuffed the attempt. Hasn't been her best afternoon from those dead ball situations. Nev Dustin did have that one attempt in the first half, which went narrowly wide of the goal. But other than that, there have been a number of mishit shots, so an unusually imperfect display from the Alamein midfielder. And as Box Hill get the ball down to the other end of the pitch, they'll be very happy. Ticking into the final 90 seconds or so. Or in fact, perhaps the final 30 seconds, I might say, with the 4 minutes allocated. Perhaps time for one final Alamein attack. Runnels and Archdeacon setting away Yosefsky. Relentless is the Box Hill defence. And Sydney Minarik not interested in giving up her clean sheet, for which she's worked so hard this afternoon. Runnels now for Alamein into the box. Again, it's Minarik, and that's full time. A huge 3 points for Box Hill. Goals in either half. First scored by Chiara Bocelli, the second set up by Bocelli, and finished by the substitute Gabby Simpson, proving to be the difference on what was a highly entertaining afternoon of football. Alamein fought hard and spent large periods of this game in the ascendancy, but we're just unable to crack the Box Hill code. It's a 5th clean sheet of the season for Box Hill, as well as another couple of goals to their tally. They will go at worst equal top of the NPLW Victoria ladder tonight, and as they head into next Friday's game against their main rivals, Bulleen Lions. Plenty to look forward to from a Box Hill perspective. For Alamein, doesn't get a whole lot easier as they prepare to take on Burundara next Sunday. And with 3 defeats in their last 4, they've been a little bit hard done by in recent weeks, Alamein, but they've got some work to do if they are to get back on track and picking up the points that we saw in the first 6 weeks of the season. That's all the time we have, though, here at Dorothy Laver West Reserve. Box Hill proving to be a little bit too strong on the day. Full-time score, Alamein 0, Box Hill 2.